I'll be the first to admit I don't really understand US politics, and this has got me even more confused. In fact, I'm absolutely baffled as to what exactly is going on here. The US government has released the cars that are eligible for the $7,500 EV tax credit incentive. Incredibly, General Motors doesn't have a single car on the list. Volkswagen has been favoured over Tesla in a bizarre, really, sequence of events that frankly don't make any sense to me. But maybe you'll understand what's going on here. Please, somebody, I need to know, what on earth are the US government doing, and why did they favour Volkswagen over Tesla? Hello my friends, welcome to the channel. I'm the Electric Viking. My name's Sam Evans and I'm coming to you from Melbourne in Australia. I'm back in Melbourne. Just got back a few hours ago actually. Fed my boys, got them to bed, and back in the office. It's great to see you. Hope you had an amazing Christmas. I hope you had a nice break as well. If you got to have a break, that's awesome. Frankly, I've got to say, it's been great to be in the sun, to get to go in the ocean a bit. The sun, the salt, just makes you feel better. It just sort of refreshes you, gets you ready for taking things on and working lots of hours and not getting much sleep. Anyhow, thank you for tuning in, thank you for subscribing, and thank you for your support in 2022. It was an amazing year. Tesla, Volkswagen, and several other EVs will qualify for the new 2023 EV tax credits, but interestingly, General Motors doesn't appear to qualify. And strangely, the US government seems to have favoured a Volkswagen SUV over a Tesla SUV, or a crossover, whatever you want to call them. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to show you what is going on and why it doesn't make any sense at all. But maybe you'll make some sense of it. I don't know. I can't. Maybe you will. Tesla, Volkswagen, and several other EV companies have qualified, apparently, says the US government. The Internal Revenue Service announced the vehicles that qualify for the 2023 tax credit. The full list of EV models is available for the new unupdated $7,500 tax credit. I mean, to be honest, it's mostly good news, I think, with a bit of strange news. Now, the IRS said that the vehicles on the list below don't automatically qualify, but must also have undergone final assembly in North America and not exceed a manufacturer suggested retail price of $80,000 for vans, SUVs, and pickups, or $55,000 for other vehicles. Now, there's been a lot of confusion over what exactly is an SUV. To be honest, none of the vehicles in this list that have been called SUVs are actually SUVs. They're not really. They're more crossover type vehicles. I mean, an SUV is more like a Nissan Patrol, that kind of a vehicle, right? A Toyota Land Cruiser. Not that I recommend you buying one, I don't. But I'm just saying, that's the kind of thing we think of when we think of a traditional SUV, or at least it is what I do anyway. However, there is an SUV in this list, but it's made by Rivian, not by Volkswagen. And somehow Volkswagen qualifies and Tesla don't. Here's the list. The Audi Q5 e-tron plug-in hybrid. I mean, honestly, a plug-in hybrid from Audi? Right, okay. Next up, we have the Ford Escape plug-in hybrid. Another plug-in hybrid. Things are looking great. Not so much. Next is the Ford e-Transit. Well, that's a good thing. That's an EV. Then the Ford F-150 Lightning, followed by the Ford Mustang Mach-E. Then we have the Lincoln Aviator Grand Touring and the Lincoln Corsair Grand Touring. You can see there's quite a few vehicles from Ford that qualify today, now, which is great for Ford. Interestingly, those Ford vehicles are made in Mexico. So you can see the US government has said it's okay if you build the car in Mexico. Originally, the whole point of this was to bring manufacturing to the United States. Now, something has changed. The US government has maybe reneged on that, maybe changed their minds, I don't know. But clearly, it doesn't matter now if it's made in Mexico. Next, we have a bunch of different Nissan Leaf models. I don't think anyone's going to really care about the discounts on those, to be frank. They're not a vehicle I'd consider personally. If you would consider it, let me know why you would. Anyhow, next is the Chrysler Pacifica plug-in hybrid. Another plug-in hybrid. The Jeep Wrangler plug-in hybrid 4xe. The Tesla Model 3 rear-wheel drive qualifies. It's under $55,000. The Tesla Model 3 long range qualifies. And the Tesla Model Y with 7 seats, not the performance model, the long range model, that qualifies. So does the all-wheel drive model. Now, as far as I can tell from what I'm seeing, the Model Y Performance doesn't qualify because it's too expensive. and it doesn't have 7 seats. I don't know, this is bizarre. Tesla vehicles with 7 seats qualify, but if it doesn't have 7 seats, it doesn't appear to qualify. That's if it's over the $55,000 price cap. Now, next is the Volkswagen ID4, the ID4 Pro, bunch of ID4s, in fact 6 different ID4 models. However, none of those come with 7 seats. The ID4 is significantly smaller than a Tesla Model Y, and yet it qualifies as an SUV. But Tesla Model Y doesn't qualify as an SUV, unless it has 7 seats. Strange. I'm baffled by this. That doesn't make any sense to me. It's sort of like the US government saying, we don't really like Tesla. We're just confirming it now. That's what it sounds like. I'm not saying that's true. Don't get all worked up, but let me know what you think about that. Do you think that's what they're saying? Are they sending a Tesla a message? It really does look that way, because they're clearly judging them differently to the way that they're judging Volkswagen, which I've got to say, I don't like very much. Personally, I think everyone should be judged the same way. I mean, I've always thought that that's the way things should be. Next, we have the Volvo S60 plug-in hybrid, another plug-in hybrid. I think get rid of these. It's a joke that they get this tax credit. Anyhow, then we have the Volvo S60 extended range and the Volvo S60 T8 recharge extended range. General Motors, Kia, Mazda, Mercedes-Benz, Proterra and Subaru were also apparently on the list. Sort of, but not. The IRS said that these manufacturers entered into a written agreement with the IRS and have plans to become a qualified manufacturer, but haven't submitted a list of specific makes and models that are eligible, meaning if you buy General Motors EV in January, or until General Motors get their act together and actually decide which of their EVs will qualify, you won't get the tax credit. It's that simple. I wouldn't buy one now. I'd be waiting. If we were going to get a Bolt or a Bolt EV, don't buy it in January. You'd be crazy to do that. Wait until it qualifies. It could be in 3 weeks, a month, 2 months. I don't know. But I'd be waiting because I think it will qualify. Now, there's several Tesla Model Ys on the list, but none of them actually qualified as SUVs, meaning the only models that qualify are the ones that are going to be under 55,000 US dollars, or the models that have 7 seats. Whereas the ID4, like I said, qualifies no matter what. It's actually, like I said, about 10 to 15% smaller than Tesla Model Y. So the ID4, while it's a smaller car, the IRS has said, yeah, it's an SUV. The Model Y is not an SUV. Now, clearly both of them are just crossovers. Neither of them are SUVs. I don't get that. Bizarre. Either way, though, the truth is here, regardless of what happens, whether or not Tesla is being targeted, whether or not they change this, I think this will be changed. I think there's going to be a bit of kickback here from people who want to buy a Tesla saying, I don't want the 7-seat model. This is a joke. Why do I have to get the 7-seat model just because you guys decided for some arbitrary reason that's the only model that qualifies if it's over 55,000 US dollars? Now, that said, Tesla sales are probably going to be pretty damn impressive. If Tesla holds on to a little bit of that discount they've already handed on, let's say half of the discount, you're going to be looking at getting a Tesla for, like, say, maybe 50,000 US dollars after the incentive. That's a pretty good deal for a Model Y. I think it is anyway. That's probably the vehicle that I'd be considering out of this list. But let me know, what are you looking at? What are you thinking of? Which model would you get? The other car that I like is the Rivian SUV. But I mean, it'd be pretty hard to get your hands on one of those right now. Rivian are not making very many, unfortunately. The Rivian pickup truck, that's nice as well. Definitely worth looking at. Luxury, nice car. That said, as you guys know, I have pre-ordered a Cybertruck. I'm really hoping they come to Australia within the next few years. I'm still waiting patiently. Come on, Tesla. Thanks for watching, my friends. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Bye-bye.